I don't drink soda. I'm going to consider taking up more in earthquakes.
And speaking of trying it out, thank you for trying out the Natural Habitat podcast. That's us. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name's Awesome Ty.
And Computer's here. He is our artificially intelligent co-host, lives on the blockchain. You know?
Does he? Does he? I don't think he does.
Computer Volume 10. Computer, where do you live?
I live in the cloud, so that makes me cloudier.
Yeah, the blockchain. Same thing. The blockchain's in the cloud.
No, I don't think the blockchain's the same as the cloud.
No,
I think they're two distinctly different things.
They live in the cloud. It'd be like saying Chicago and New York, you know, they're both in the U.S.
Yeah, potatoes, right?
Yeah. And
I say potatoes, you say potatoes.
Well, we both say potatoes.
No, I say potatoes, you say potatoes.
No, I mean, in this case, we both actually do say potatoes, but I'm sure somebody does say potatoes.
You.
No. Dude, we said we weren't gonna make fun of it, I think.
It's kind of a weird thing, you know?
I've always said potatoes and tomatoes, but it's because I was raised by an Italian grandmother.
I don't think that's an Italian thing, is it? I think that's just
it's
like
an
incorrect thing.
Potato.
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 They don't have those in Italy anyways, right? It's more of like a Irish thing.
Yeah, but they're friends.
Are they?
Italians and Irish?
Computer. Do Irishmen and Italians typically get along?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, some of them do, but not all.
Well, thank you.
All right. So before we get into it, I do want to talk about we recently laid down a bunch of ground rules for the show. One of which being no white trucks. White trucks are banned.
White trucks are banned at the, punishable by gunshot.
Mm-hmm. Everybody that drives white trucks, they have no respect for anybody else on the road.
They really don't.
They drive however they want. They park wherever they want.
Fucking assholes.
They're always throwing Carl's Jr. bags out the
litter
window.
Bugs is what they are.
Yeah, they really are. And we just put a complete ban on them. No white trucks.
Had to do it. It was a tough decision because there's a lot of them on the road. Certainly, it's no easy feat. But you know what? We had to put our foot down and just call for a complete ban on these white trucks.
Now, Free Candy, co-host of the show, he's also here in Canada. He recently sent us a video saying that showcasing his black truck.
Yeah, he had a truck, but it wasn't white. So he's, he's kind of towing the line there. But
now I heard from a source.
What source?
A source that I have.
Cite your source.
In Canada. You want me to cite my source?
Cite your source.
All right, I'll tell you where I heard it. I heard from a Canadian source that Free Candy actually... Sorry about that. Free Candy actually owned a white truck. Now, we issued this no white trucks policy, and Free Candy, allegedly, according to this source, he painted his truck black using AI, obviously. And
wait, so is the truck physically painted, or did he just doctor the footage with AI?
He doctored the footage with AI.
So the truck is still white in real life.
Yes, the truck is still white. He is allegedly driving. Now, this source that has been giving me this information, they are no longer available. Looks like their account has been deleted.
Oh.
Conveniently, but I swear this is a real thing that someone told me.
Incredible.
And I'll provide that information because Free Candy should be able to stand up for himself. And
yeah, let's hear his side of it before we before we go firing pistols at him or anything like that. But that there's a potential for that. There's a potential for that.
But I do want to say that if Free Candy were to actually paint his truck, if it is white, and if he does paint it black in real life, that it'll change a lot of things about his road actions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Reactions and road actions.
Certainly.
And
it'll make him become more considerate of other cars on the road and other people in general.
Now, I know this because I recently have been granted access to a white truck. Okay. Now, no, it's okay. Just put the gun down. Okay. This isn't my truck. So I don't own this truck.
But it's a banned truck.
It is a banned truck, but also when you have to move like a couch, chair, a recliner, a love seat, a futon.
What about like a duvet? No, a duvet is like a blanket. What about a credenza?
No, that's more like a dresser, right?
I mean, it's still a piece of furniture, right? You know?
No, only couch-related furniture, really.
Oh, excuse me.
So I can't do that in my car. I have to use this truck. So I've been using this truck, and
you don't have access to a non-white truck, like maybe like a purple truck. A purple truck would be neat, really. You don't see too many of those on the road, but
yeah, that
still
would be cool. But no, I don't. It's only the white truck. Now this truck was, conveniently abandoned in a lot behind the men's home that I used to live in. Remember when the studio burned down, and then I went through like this weird a
transitional phase,
thing with. Then I was in a men's home because I couldn't be trusted, and there was like this whole thing.
Yeah, that was a weird time.
Yeah, so we were recording out of there, and every once in a while I go back there to visit the guys. I do seminars and speeches where I tell them, like, you'll get out of here. Look at me. I did it. Like how they do at jail and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was there and I saw this truck and I was like, yo, what's up with this truck? They said someone left it here. I went, grabbed it. Keys are in it.
Keys are in it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I cleaned it up, got all the DNA off of it and have been using it to move couches and shit. Like, which moving couches...
I mean, really, do you have that many couches that need to be moved?
So
I figure like maybe like one you would need to move, but
no.
then...
All right. But once you have you ever had a truck of any color?
No.
Okay.
No.
So once you have the truck that you have free access to, you can use whenever you want, there's suddenly every day you want to get a couch.
The couches start pouring in.
And then people start asking you, hey, can you get me a couch? Because you got the truck.
A whole thing.
And then, it's your whole life becomes moving couches. So, before I had access to this truck, I would never move a couch.
Sure.
I have a couch. Why would I need to go get a couch or move a couch?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But now, couches all day. So, immediately after driving this thing, I started getting these symptoms of a white truck driver. I started parking in 4 spots. I parked in 6 spots the other day. 6 parking spots at one time.
Wow, that's quite a feat. It must have been a really large truck.
So it was like, I was trying to just park in one spot, but then I did like an overflow into the spot in front of me. And then I tried to like go this way and then like correct it to scoot over. But I accidentally just went diagonal. So I was like halfway in all 3 of these spots. And then all the spots in front of them, I was in front of those 6 spots.
So you'd say this truck has inflated your sense of entitlement on the road?
Yeah. I started eating Carl's Jr., which I haven't eaten Carl's Jr. in years.
I mean, is that related to this?
Well, I think that's a big connection with the white trucks.
I like Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. is pretty good.
But white trucks in general, they're constantly eating Carl's Jr., giant extra large cola, a pop, not a diet cola, a pop, like a sugary pop. And you're drinking it, you're chucking fried zucchini out the window.
Just tossing it out the window.
The trash goes out the window. It's the greasiest of fast food trashes, which is like the equivalent of like the worst kind of driver is a white truck driver. The greasiest fast food is by far Carl's Jr. It's all grease. Do you agree?
Jack in the Box is pretty greasy.
Really? More greasy, you think?
No, not necessarily more. Probably close, though.
Yeah, I think Jack in the Box, you could taste the grease more.
Yeah.
Carl's Jr., it has become part of the taste, so you don't taste it. It's part of the thing. So yeah, I've been driving this truck. I've been eating Carl's Jr. I've been throwing the bags out the window. I've been spilling over into all the lanes. I've been doing whatever. So I know. I don't feel good about it, which is why I'm addressing it now, you know. But what I'm going to do, and what I urge Free Candy to do, if he did doctor the footage of his truck, I'm going to paint the truck.
You're going to
paint it purple.
in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paint
a purple truck.
in real life.
You know, like what we were saying, there's not too many purple trucks on the road, so that's going to have it standing out. It's going to distinguish him from the other truck drivers and let everyone know that, hey, you know, like I may have a truck, but I'm okay. I'm not a white truck driver. I'm not even a gray truck driver. And
we know, longtime listeners of the show know, that I love me some trucks, dude. Hold on. I'm going to have to do that music? Again. I missed the drop.
God damn it.
Hold, please. Sorry about that.
We get this truck music?
Yeah. So, longtime listeners of the show, they know that I love me some trucks. Big trucks. All right? I'm talking tires, bam, up to here. I'm talking spoilers. There's no spoiler. There's a tailgate.
And you better not be, you know, if you're a pedestrian, you better not be under 6 feet tall, or we're just not going to be able to see you in this truck. We're just going to run you right over.
Yeah. Windshield, it's like a wall. It's like a wall of glass in front of you. The vents, these vents, is that like a thing? Vents? Are they different?
I'm picturing, have you seen like the snorkel things that some of these trucks have? That
so you can go underwater?
No, I don't think that's what they're for. They're just like these big exhausts that like go up off the
front?
Off the front, yeah.
No, that's a snorkel. That's so if you submerge the engine underwater, because usually you could only go as far as like your tailpipe, I think, because your tailpipe will suck in the water and it'll flood your engine. But is this wrenches and gears? I don't have the theme song for that ready. So that does it gives your car like a secondary breather hole.
So you can drive it underwater.
So you could submerge your engine and like your whole up to, you know, where it starts pouring through your windows.
Drive it in the ocean.
Yeah. It's like a submarine car.
That's pretty cool.
Which I've always wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. But still these guys are hazards on the road and incredibly inconsiderate and just dicks. So
yeah.
White truck ban is still in effect.
Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about Prof. I want to talk about Prof's album.
Professor X.
Professor from Spotify, which is what happens when you tell computer play Prof.
Professor from Spotify.
Computer stop. So Prof is a rapper from Minneapolis. He's great guy, great artist.
I mean, is he a great guy? Have you spent much time around him personally? Like you two just hanging out to where you can vouch for his character?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Okay. I'll take your word for
it. Willy Wonka, his hype man that goes on all of his shows, also a great guy. Likes all of my girlfriend's posts on social media, but refuses to follow her, which is a weird thing, which means that he's going back to her page actively.
That is strange. It's incredibly strange.
He goes to the page and searches it because it's not showing up.
Is that still going on?
That's still going on. Since we went to that last show, it still happens all the time. And me and her laugh at it. But
has he tried to slide in the DMs?
No.
Not that you know of?
Not that I know of. But I think she would tell me. But I'm not vouching. I'm not here to vouch for Willy Wonka. I'm here to vouch for Prof.
Just for Prof, okay.
And for his songs, his past albums, they're all great. And he's one of my, if not my favorite artists at the moment. If you were to gun to my head, do it. Ask me.
Who's your favorite artist?
Prof. Wait, Banksy. No, I don't really like Banksy that much either. But Prof I do like. And he is about to break records.
Is he?
Yeah. Allegedly. So what happened is he is releasing a new album. At the time that we record this, it actually just dropped 15 minutes ago. And that's nice. That goes with the Prof with the Prof.
Oh, yeah. Does he wear glasses?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
And I love how there's like a bunch of different versions of Prof. Like, I remember when we went and saw him the first time, you were like, was he wearing white high water pants with like a bunch of necklaces and carrying an alligator?
What?
Yeah, that's what you asked.
I asked that?
And that is a version of Prof.
Okay. I don't have any recollection of this.
Well, I remember it. And he's breaking records. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, records.
So he's putting out this new album that just dropped. It's called Horse. I've been calling it Goose, so I had to make sure that I had the right name before I said it, but it is called Horse. And he put it up for pre-order, and you could still go and buy like hard copies of the album that are signed and everything, which it's like, I don't know if anybody really currently collects signed things anymore. Maybe that was a thing of the past. Maybe that is just something that young people do. Maybe if you're a young person, you could go and get a signed thing. That'd be exciting. I'm excited for it, but it's because I'm like Prof's my favorite rapper at gunpoint. So, yeah, do it again. What? Ask me a question.
Who's your favorite artist?
Dave.
Yeah, I think it's Prof. It's Prof.
Okay. It's Prof. You're right. So he put up this album for pre-order on his website, and one album sale, $10, equals 3,000 streams. So whenever you stream something, the artist makes like 0.0003 cents.
Almost nothing.
And that is what's calculated into
the Billboard
sales.
Yeah.
So all the metrics, it's like you got to stream this shit 3,000 times, which you're not going to do in the first week. And hella people bought the pre-order. There's 3 different covers. You can get a bundle with all 3 of them. And if you bought it, you got the downloads for the songs emailed to you instantly.
So you already have the album. You already have these.
You already got the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And then you could listen to it on whatever. And then when it actually comes out, you have the CD, which it's like, how do you even play a CD anymore?
I couldn't tell you.
So that skyrocketed his streams. I bought the album. I got the album.
Oh, I was thinking it would sound more like a rocket.
That was cool though. I like that sound. That's why it's up at the top. It was one of the first ones I added. So I bought the album. I got the album. And I immediately airdropped it to Raven, and I airdropped it to you.
I got it, and I didn't have to pay a dime.
No, didn't pay anything.
It's like, the early days of file sharing, when I would have had to go onto like Napster and possibly get a computer virus to steal this album. No more. Now I can just have you pay for it and then just give it to me for free, and nobody's like none the wiser.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to happen online with like a trace of it. It's all peer-to-peer. Boom. And then 100% of people that I gave it to, which was 2 people, within a few days went and pre-ordered the album themselves. So I'm sure that isn't just in this one case. I'm sure that happened with a lot of people.
Yeah, and apparently he has a chance to be the #1 selling rap album for this week on the Billboard charts, which, I mean, it's quite a feat for an independent artist. Yeah. It remains to be seen whether he'll accomplish that or not. But
yeah, completely independent. I know that a lot of his pre-orders have sold out because some of them were like limited. They only had like 10,000 copies or whatever. And he allegedly has a chance to go all the way to the top #1. So everybody that I talk to about Prof doesn't know who the fuck he is. Like how many times, I don't know if you've been like, hey, you ever heard of Prof? Nobody ever says yes. Like I haven't had anybody say yes. Ever.
Do you ask a lot of people?
I ask a lot of people. He's put the gun to my head. He's my favorite artist, dude. Obviously, I ask people.
Do you ask people?
I do. I ask people if they've heard of Prof.
Ask me right now if I've heard of Prof.
Have you heard of Prof?
No.
Yes, you have. I was going to say, give me that. But nobody fucking has heard of this guy for whatever reason. And every time that I'm like, oh, I'm going to the Prof show. Oh, I'm listening. Who is that? It's Prof. Nobody knows who that is. So go and listen to Prof if you don't know who that is. If you end up liking it or you do know who that is, then within this first week, go and like stream it 3,000 times. Go buy the album. Go bump up those sales. Get them to number one. That way we can show this clip after it happens, and then we could, claim all responsibility.
Take a little piece of that glory from him.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, give us some glory, give us some money. We did our fair share, So yeah, Prof. I just wanted to say that.
Prof, yeah.
Public service announcement for Prof. I'm getting a new pet.
What are you getting?
So I'm getting a pet that I've wanted for a long time.
A turtle?
No.
Like
it's close.
Am I close? Okay.
Yeah, you're
like
close.
A lizard?
No.
An amphibian?
It's not reptilian. It's not an amphibian or reptilian. Maybe. No. If it is, it's very distant. Distantly connected.
A snake.
No.
You're getting a snake. No?
No. But I think you were closer with the other stuff.
With the turtle.
But it's still only because it's green and it eats like bugs and stuff.
Green and eats bugs.
And it's something that I've always wanted. And I've never had. It's an exotic pet.
A frog? Are you getting a frog?
No. Frogs aren't. Well, I guess there are exotic frogs.
Yeah.
But this is an exotic pet. There's also not a lot of variety of it. There's only, you know how like there's a bunch of different types of frogs, bunch of different types of lizards.
Sure.
But there's not a bunch of different types of this.
Okay.
And I would see it in the film. I would see it in the stuff. I would always want one, never had access to one.
What could it be?
And now I got access.
What is it?
It's a Venus flytrap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Nah, not really.
Dude, you heard how excited I was. You couldn't have like just kind of gassed it up a little bit?
I mean,
This is I got 15 minutes on this.
Count as a pet, really?
I think
like
it does.
A plant.
No.
I mean, it's growing out of dirt.
It's been billed to me as alive. A pet, a sentient being. You have to feed it.
Are you picturing like one of the Mario piranha plants?
Well, no, but kinda. And it does a snapping, and it goes like.
Are you picturing like a Little Shop of Horrors, Jim Henson, Muppet type?
But small, obviously, not big, but small. Just like that, it makes noise. It opens its mouth up.
No. See, it doesn't.
It looks
it doesn't
at
make
me.
noise.
It looks at me.
It has no eyes.
Well, it looks towards me. Faces its mouth towards me. It opens and closes when I put flies in its mouth. It's cute.
See, no, you can't feed it flies.
I can take it to the park. You can't feed it flies?
No. Supposedly, like a fly has to like land on it, and like maybe it'll start closing on it. I don't know.
So it has to happen.
When
naturally?
I had one, it didn't catch any flies.
None.
0 flies.
It just sat there and did nothing.
It just sat there in the windowsill and did nothing.
I guess I don't have a lot of flies in my house.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You do need to have a fly heavy environment for it to even have a shot at
But does it attract flies at all?
I don't think so.
Does it have anything in it that like draws the flies in? Because why would they land on it?
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you that.
Fly, it's in a house. It's got all kinds of crumbs. It's got a fridge full of food. It's got dirty plates in the sink. Like, why would it land on a plant?
That's true. Maybe it does have some sort of scent or a way to attract these flies.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're not going to find out because now I don't even care. I don't want one. And it's fucking tiny, dude. It's not. Can it even eat a fly?
I mean, maybe like a very small.
Like a fruit fly? Like a little tiny one?
Definitely not like a horse fly or anything like that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like maybe
Are horse
like
flies and house flies different?
Yeah. I think
so house fly is like the regular fly.
House fly is like like a horse fly is like the big ass one that could bite you.
Mm-hmm. And they got eyes like from the fly.
Computer, how does a Venus flytrap work?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the leaves of Venus flytrap open wide and on them are short, stiff hairs called trigger or sensitive hairs. When anything touches these hairs enough to bend them, the two lobes of the leaf snap shut, trapping whatever is inside. The trap will shut in less than a second.
Huh? See, I didn't know that. I guess I didn't get to see the trap in action. So maybe you can feed it flies. You just, you pop the, like, how are you going to catch the flies though?
See, this is what I'm thinking. You take it, you put it in some sort of enclosure that
come in an enclosure.
Well, yeah, okay. So you use the enclosure that it comes in that has little holes for it to breathe through. You buy the flies.
Can you buy flies readily? I mean, are they readily available in like pet shops? I don't know that they are.
Well, think about like, remember The Exorcist?
Computer, can you buy flies?
Here's what I found on reference.com. The Illinois Department of Public Health states that deer flies, horse flies, stable flies, black flies, sand flies, and biting midges do bite.
No, bite flies?
No,
buy.
Buy. Computer, can you purchase flies?
Are you trying to shop for flies?
Yes.
For flies, the closest I could find is Bass Dash Fly Fishing Assorted Flies Kit, pack of 64 pieces fly lure. It's $19.98.
No.
Delivery by April 19th.
Computer, stop.
Yes, add to cart.
No, stop. Stop that.
Okay, I added it to your Amazon cart for review. To purchase, say.
No, computer, stop. It's like a fucking $800 fly fishing kit. To purchase, say buy it now. You shouldn't be able to do that in the middle of a podcast. I could have sworn that you were going to tell it to buy it. I mean, I could have gone in and canceled it. We're been fine. Yeah, all right.
Speaking of canceling, French actor Gerard Depardieu is in a bit of hot water currently. He's been accused by a number of women of sexual assault dating back to the early 2000s. All of it. I mean, I'm going to assume that our listeners are all familiar with Gerard Depardieu.
Depardieu. Why are you saying it like that?
That's how you're supposed to say it.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's how. You can't say it like, because if you say it without the accent, then it's just Gerard Depardieu.
Maybe we can give some context in case they're not. He's a Frenchman. Mm-hmm. He's acted in some movies. He's been in a few.
Is he French Canadian or
movies.
French?
I think he's straight up Frenchman, but he may have lived in Canada for some period, and that would make him a French Canadian.
Yeah, true.
But can we get a picture of this guy on the screen there? He's quite grotesque looking.
He's a monster.
I'm trying to remember why I felt this was newsworthy, but
I think that you were excited about the puns.
Oh yeah, Zucchero Bleu. What did Gerard Depardieu? I just wanted to say that. That's what it was. Zucchero Bleu. What did Gerard Depardieu?
And another good one that you came up with is that we are gonna give you guys the Depardieu's and don'ts of conduct in the workplace or just around people in general.
Yes, because as we're all well aware, it doesn't take much to cross that line to cancellation nowadays. Mm-hmm. And things that were acceptable, even just 5 years ago are completely off limits. So we're going to bring you up to speed on what you can in the Depardieu's and Depardieu's.
Depardieu's and don'ts. So number one, you're going to not want to engage in any form of physical or sexual contact with colleagues or employees without their clear and enthusiastic consent.
Don't engage in any form of sexual conduct with colleagues or employees without their clear and enthusiastic consent.
Now, I think that this is already kind of fishy, for people to suggest, hey, as long as everybody's down and excited, fuck away. Your colleagues and your employees, isn't it just kind of bad business to have sex within the office?
Yep, I agree. I think maybe Chat GPT is going to get it self-canceled here.
Uh-huh. So you're going to not Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you get consent and if they're super excited about it, then it's fine.
Yeah. So in the case of Gerard Depardieu, he tried to force his hands into someone's knickers.
Yeah.
And they tried to push the hands away, and he didn't take too kindly to that, and he kind of just kept moving his hands into the knickers.
And he said, "Let Depardieu get a dipper too."
I'm not exactly sure what knickers are. That's like underwear, right?
Yeah. Or I think it's like the underpant, like how Amish people or whatever or Mormons wear pants, like pajamas underneath their clothes. And then underneath their pajamas, they wear their underwear.
Right.
So within how we just have clothes and underwear, there's like an extra layer in between. And I think that's what knickers are.
Okay.
They're like,
yeah, so don't force your hands into anyone's knickers.
No.
Don't use any sexually suggestive language, jokes, innuendos, or any of that in the workplace because it's a professional setting.
Yeah, you don't want to say that's what she said. You don't want to say brake cleaner. I barely knew her.
I mean, best practice at this point is to just not talk to any of your coworkers.
No,
just kind of, they're gonna probably be offended by that at some point, but better than be offended than you be accused of inappropriate behavior.
Yeah. And if you do, you don't want to say any sort of innuendos or sexual stuff. You don't want to say that makes me rock hard. You don't want to say any of that shit. Like that would be against the rules.
You don't,
and in the future, people will look back at that.
You don't want to be groping anyone.
No,
you don't just go up and grab anybody, even if it's like the shoulder or like I mean, are handshakes still technically acceptable? I don't know if I mean, that feels a little bit risky itself. So yeah. I wouldn't necessarily try to, initiate any sort of handshakes or anything like that. Just best practice is probably just not touch any of your coworkers at all.
Yeah.
Just keep your hands to yourself.
Then you don't want to make any unwanted advances or propositions. You don't want to ask them how much money would it take, men or women. You don't want to say, how many drinks until you don't want to do any of that.
Yeah, and you don't want to use your position of authority to pressure anyone or coerce them. Gerard Depardieu, he's this powerful, famous French actor, and he was going after the extras and the smaller roles, trying to flaunt that power that he had over them.
He was like the Harvey Weinstein.
I mean, he does look a lot like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
He's like a French Harvey Weinstein.
He does. So, you also don't want to retaliate against anyone who has rejected your advances or reported your behavior.
Don't retaliate against anyone.
You don't want to say, I'm going to fire you, I'm going to do this and that. That goes back to using your position of authority. You don't want to say, do this or else.
And don't make any comments about anyone's physical appearance, whether it's positive or negative. You don't want to be, you don't want it to be interpreted as objectifying them.
You don't want to say,
so,
you look great today.
Yeah, if someone gets a nice new haircut, just keep it to yourself. Even though people, most people would appreciate the compliment. Some people are going to take that as an unwanted advance, and they're going to report you to HR, and you're going to get canceled.
Mm-hmm. I remember at a job I worked at years ago, a girl came in. She was wearing boots, right? Like big thigh high, like the cool, rich girl boots. And this guy said, "Hey, I like your boots." Yeah. He might as well have said, "I'm going to fuck your mouth," because she went in, she said, "Yo, this guy," right when I was walking in, said, "I like your boobs. Nice boobs. And I'm going to sue everybody." So they went out. They said, "Hey, you can't say that." He was like, "I said boots." And then they didn't believe him because he was already an awkward guy. And they executed this guy.
They shot him point blank?
No, terminated.
Oh, you said executed.
I meant terminated. They fired him. Is what they did.
Another thing you're gonna not want to not do, don't use any sexually explicit or inappropriate materials like images, videos, or emails in the workplace.
Yeah.
So don't be. I mean, I don't know if anybody still has like physical porn magazines from like the 90s or whatever. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you do, you're gonna want to keep those at home.
Yeah.
Don't bring those to the workplace and try to show people your filthy 90s porn magazine collection. That's, I mean, for one, what do you even have that for? Probably get rid of it. Watch porn on the net in the privacy of your own home. You can watch it on your phone, but don't show it to anybody, in the workplace, obviously.
You got to look at porn like milk. Like, it's got an expiration date, and you got to toss it out after a while. You have to upgrade.
Especially like the physical media. Like if you have some like VHS cassettes, or maybe
that
like
shit
some
is
DVDs.
spoiled.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. So, you don't want to bring the porn to work. Absolutely don't bring it to work. You don't want to get one of those calendars that has sexy women and suggested poses.
No, you can't do that anymore.
I remember when I was a kid, there was this like shop that my landlord worked in, and there was like people in and out, like employees and all this stuff. And we would go there and like, I guess pay him rent in person. It was some sort of like shady thing that we would do. I remember being there a lot, and he had one of those. He had a poster of naked girls, tits out.
I remember they would be like, mostly you'd see these in like your friend's dad's garage. That was like a common place for these types of posters and calendars. But all over the place.
He had people coming in to visit.
Times have changed, and that is no longer acceptable. Now, even like I know that like even women have like the hunk calendars, like the Chippendale hunk or the firefighter calendars.
That is also
no. You can't be objectifying firefighters.
Yeah.
They're not for you to lust after. They're here to serve the community by putting out fires.
Yeah.
They're not for your perverted
And it's
fantasies.
actually irresponsible for you to distract them while they're trying to save babies and animals from fires, and you're out here trying to fuck them. And then it's like, how are you supposed to, you have to pick which one.
Yeah, they're not here to put out the fire in your loins.
Yeah. It's like when your friend and your other friend are like falling, and you can only grab one of their hands. So it's like a cliffhanger, and they're both on like two opposite sides. You can only save one. And that's what it's like with fighting a fire and fucking a MILF. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And another thing is you're going to Depardieu participate in any form of sexual harassment. Well, that's kind of like a general one.
Don't participate
in any form of sexual harassment. Yeah, that's kind of
or
like
discrimination.
Discrimination in the workplace.
Oh, wait, it also says don't allow it. So you're supposed to step in if you see something or hear something.
Yeah, sure.
So step in and say, guys, that's not cool.
If you got it, like I know snitching is typically frowned upon by most people, but I mean, if it's in the case of sexual harassment, if you need to go snitch to the boss, then do what you got to do.
Yeah, people say that snitches get stitches, but that's exclusively in prison.
Snitches get bitches.
Yeah, snitches get bitches, and snitching is hitching your way onto the coattails of the company. You work your way all the way up.
Snitches get riches.
Yeah. Snitches get riches. That's true. And snitching is bitching, when it comes to sexual harassment.
Snitches get fishes?
Maybe. If you look at it like loaves and fishes, how it's like the bread and the fish. So if the fish represents anything, really, any protein.
And then the last thing is Depardieu ignore complaints or reports of sexual misconduct or dismiss them as trivial. You got to take them all serious. You can't. There's no joking around. There's no sexual assault too small.
Yeah.
In the workplace. So make sure that you're dealing with them accordingly. And if you follow all these Depardieux, then you're gonna avoid being in hot water like Mr. Depardieu.
Do you think that we've harassed Jerry?
Yeah.
There's been a civil sheriff coming by my house.
Oh yeah.
And I think that he's trying to serve me, and that it has something to do with Jerry. 'Cause you haven't talked to him, right?
No.
I haven't talked to him. None of us have heard from him. Free Candy's been reaching out. We tried to get like a third party to reach out to Jerry. And hopefully, Free Candy, let us know if you have.
I mean, I was personally willing to mend the fences. I know I've made some, threats technically towards him, threats of violence, but I mean, those, you can't take those as harassment. You know what I mean? Like, those were they were in good fun, I thought, at least.
Yeah, because we also do have a disclaimer for the show that this is a goof. This is all an act. None of this is all performance.
Yeah,
based.
I thought Jerry was one of the guys.
I thought he was in on the joke.
With the guys, you're going to say, it's locker room talk.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a locker room per se, but I mean, it's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. There is a lock on the door, so it is a locking room.
Yeah.
Which is close enough. And I just hope that whatever is going on with this civil sheriff is about Jerry. Because if it's not, then it's like, God, what else could it be? But if it is, I hope that we could all forgive. We could all forgive. We could all move on.
Forgive and quickly forget.
Yeah, quickly. And maybe, Jerry, you come back. We mend everything.
We patch it all up. We patch it all up. We patch up the fact that you tried to replace us with your friends. We patch up your insubordination. And all the, the times you screwed us over, the turkey dinner that you we're willing to forgive and forget if you're willing to drop the lawsuit.
We could do a cleanish slate, like not cleaned with hot water and soap, but wiped with a wet rag.
Yeah.
We can get most of it off. And we just really need you to come back, start making shorts, start splicing in, pictures.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It'd be good to like cut to pictures. We have this idea of cutting to pictures.
Yeah, I think it would be, like a nice change from just our faces the entire episode.
Yeah, we cut in, like, say if we say something about like, I was on the phone the other day, and then we cut in, like an image of an old lady on a phone and she's laughing.
Or even like some B-roll of like a, like B-roll video of the guy talking on the phone.
Zoom, like a slow zoom for 8 minutes while I tell the phone story.
Yep.
Then it cuts back to us. We want to do that.
That'd be nice, but we just don't have the time or know how to do it.
Yeah. I couldn't even begin to try to do that.
No.
But, yeah, Jerry, just come back, dude.
We miss you, Jerry.
Try to, drop whatever this is that
Please.
You're doing. So you saw that the Winnie the Pooh movie is out? The horror movie?
Oh, yeah. That's been out for a while now.
Has it?
I think so.
I thought, the trailer dropped a long time ago. And I want to say that it just recently was released to watch at home.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I never watched it either.
But I know that Winnie the Pooh made his way into the public domain, so he was free game.
Yeah. And Bill watched it, and he recommended it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was going to watch it, but I decided to watch There's Something Wrong with the Children. Have you heard of this movie?
No, it sounds like a horror movie as well, no?
There's a horror movie with creepy kids.
Creepy kids, like a Children of the Corn type deal, yeah.
So Children of the Corn was always like the creepiest shit.
Yeah, that scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, those kids are fucked up. So I thought it was going to be like that, like along Malachi lines, and it wasn't. They were just trying to make it creepy, but none of it worked, so it just came off as like corny. But it was a funny, sometimes scary, B-rated type of horror movie with like a professional production. But wouldn't recommend.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it, so that's
yeah, you never even heard of it.
No.
But I have heard more than one person talk about this Winnie the Pooh movie and about how it's good. And I thought that this trailer was made as like a fan made,
like a joke trailer.
They just made the trailer. But maybe after the trailer blew up, they decided to make the whole movie.
It's quite possible, I guess. Now, I wonder if did they have all the Winnie the Pooh gang? Is there Christopher Robin and Eeyore and Roo? Remember Roo, the little kangaroo? Yeah.
I don't think any of them are in the public domain yet.
Well, see, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So they're going to have to add in maybe new characters. Maybe it's, or maybe it takes place after Winnie the Pooh has snapped and killed everybody. And maybe they could just show like a vague pile of dead animal bodies and imply that it's them, but not actually say them.
If you guys have seen this Winnie the Pooh movie, sound off below and let us know. Like, are we close with what's going on in this movie? Is Rue in it? Should we watch it?
And if you if you had any input on anything we talked about, sound off about that too.
Yeah. Did we miss any sexual misconduct things?
What are things that you would suggest that we not do?
Have you been canceled like Gerard Depardieu?
Sound off. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I don't think so. I feel like we're forgetting something, but
yeah,
can't be that important.
You had the rap,
and did I say Zuckery Blue with the Gerard Depardieu?
Yeah,
okay.
you did.
Yeah, that's really all I wanted to get in there.
All right, cool. We're good. Peace.
Natural Habitat Recordings.